Anybody got a prescription, yeah, for this love pain? Anybody got a pill like a pop for this love pain? Anybody got a prayer like a session for this love pain, yeah? Ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription, yeah?
What's up, YouTubers? How are you? I'm T Visions, and I wanted to do this video for a number of reasons. We're going to talk about mental health. I am not a mental health expert, but I am a person who has dealt with and struggled with mental health issues. And I thought it was very important, and it's much needed to talk about, because today's society, we don't talk about these things. We just keep it inside, and I feel like I can help somebody with this video. So keep watching. First, I would like to say, if you are a person who is struggling with mental health issues and you don't have anybody you don't have an outlet, if you're a person who has had suicidal thoughts, do me a favor, call the 1-800-suicide. Call the 1-800 number. They're very useful. If you don't have a 1-800 number, you don't know a 1-800 number, there's a number that I have that you guys can feel free to use. It's 1-800-273-TALK. There's someone always willing to listen. Somebody always will answer that call. So I hope that you guys use it if you need it. I wanted to start this off by letting you guys know mental health is not something that you can see with the naked eye. It's not something that you're going to walk up to somebody and be like, oh, they have mental health issues. Oh, that person has bipolar depression. You won't know those things. You won't know unless it's either too late to find out, or unless the person tells you that they're struggling with mental health. There are different type of issues that people deal with, and I can just discuss some that I have dealt with personally. And I'm talking about my own personal situations. I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just letting you know some information that I've gathered for myself, some things that I've dealt with. So let's start with PTSD. Everybody knows, well, not everybody, most people knows that PTSD is post-traumatic stress syndrome. Post-traumatic stress, that is something that's something you deal with if you've had traumatic experience. If you've witnessed it, you've gone through it, or you yourself have been in a traumatic situation, 9 times out of 10 you will suffer from some PTSD issues, whether it could be something light or it can be extreme. There is levels to these things. Like, you can have a mild case of PTSD, or you can have a very severe case of PTSD. It depends on what type of experience you've gone through. It depends on what help you have been given, or what has been provided for you. It all depends on the person. You hear about most veterans dealing with PTSD. We don't hear much about people who have been incarcerated that suffers from PTSD. They don't even think that they have PTSD, but you don't understand. If you think about somebody being locked up for 6 years inside of a cage, because that's what it is, if you ask me. If you think about it, somebody being locked up in a cage and then you let them out to society, sometimes at some point the person still lives with that same mentality that they had when they were in prison. So that person can be dealing with PTSD and they don't even know it. So if you're a person who has been to prison, I think that therapy is not a bad thing. People think that, oh, if I talk to a therapist, I'm crazy, or if I seek help, I'm crazy. I don't want to be labeled as crazy. It's not that you're crazy. You're just, your mind needs an outlet. Like, you need to learn different coping skills. That's what has helped me through having PTSD. That's what has helped me through having manic anxiety. That's what has helped me through suffering with bipolar depression. It's nothing. It doesn't mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that you're a psychopath. Yes, some people go that far, but that's what these numbers are for. That's what help is for. That's what mental health doctors are for. We as people have to get out of that stigma of wanting it to look like. You can have it look like anything you want to look like, but at the end of the day, you need to seek help, because you will appreciate it later. Manic anxiety is really just what it is. I don't know if you've ever experienced like a tightness in your chest, not like, it's like when you get really, really excited and you're overly excited. Sometimes you have heart palpitations where you just like, and sometimes you can't control that. You can take as many deep breaths as you want to, but you cannot control having a panic attack sometimes. You can breathe through it and it'll help you, but some situations for some people, they can't. They don't know how to breathe. They don't know how to do those things. That's why, like, it helps to understand your triggers. You have to, and that's very important. Understand your triggers. What triggers you to have an anxiety attack? What type of situation could you be in to make yourself or your mind manic? You have to think that, like, those are all things that's really important to think about when you have when you have some of these type of issues. It's not easy to deal with. I know that. The effects of dealing with these things is not always, sometimes it doesn't always come out positive. Sometimes having anxiety, having bipolar depression, having mental health issues, you can't get over it like that. It doesn't work that way. These are things you have to work at. You have to work on them. You have to find ways to cope. You have to find ways to relax yourself. What interests you? What's something that takes your mind away from all this? Some people do yoga, some people read, some people broadcast, some people do videos, some people write, some people listen to music. You have to find your coping mechanism to help you deal with having anxiety. Bipolar depression. Bipolar depression is mood swings. You can have lows. You can have like very low moments where you just don't want to do anything. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to eat. You don't want to do anything. You're just really in a low place. Or you can be at an all-time high and be the happiest person ever, and then in a blink of an eye, something could trigger you just like that, and your mind is like, oh, you're feeling down again. Or you can have manic episodes where you're just really all over the place. You can't stick to doing one thing at a time. Your mind can't focus on just one thing. Sometimes people don't know what they're going through. Being bipolar, there is, like I said, there are steps. There's a scale for it. Either you have a mild case of bipolar depression, or being bipolar, you have a mild case, or you have an extreme case. Having a mild case, for me, some days I'm up and some days I'm down. Some days I want to be bothered. Some days I just want to be by myself. And people that know me knows that when I'm just in that mood, just leave me alone and let me be to myself until I feel better. I know how to do things and cope. And I have different coping skills than other people. I know what my triggers are, and I try to stay clear from things that trigger me. If I know it's a person that trigger me, I stay away from them. I know if it's an activity that triggers me, I stay away from it. If I know it's a food that triggers me, I stay away from it. That's just the way that I cope with these things. I talked about depression. I don't know if I talked about depression. I probably started off with anxiety because I know I have anxiety a lot. I have a lot of panic attacks. And it's because of something I've gone through in my past. And if you want to hear that story, leave the comments down below. If you want to know what caused me to have PTSD, if you want to know what causes my anxiety, if you want to know how like, if you want me to show you how I deal with my own situations, leave comments down below. I don't mind sharing my information because my information may help somebody. And that's all that I want to do. I want to be able to reach out and I want to be able to help people. I want you to be able to talk about mental health. I don't want you to want anyone to feel like they don't have anybody to talk to or nobody really understands, because that's really one of a big problem. People don't understand mental health. So if it's something that you don't understand, then yeah, when you have kids, they interrupt your video time. So, as I was saying, this is a continuation of the video that I was doing. If you guys have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below. If you are a person that's suffering from mental health issues, please feel free to ask me as many questions as you like. I will do a Q&A on this subject. I will be doing other videos about mental health issues. I will be doing we'll be giving out different information. If you guys would like to know how or what happened to make me have manic anxiety, or to make, like, what triggers me or anything like that. If you guys have any questions, I'm an open book. Please feel free to leave those in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you know somebody else that's dealing with mental health issues, please share this video with them, because let them know that they're not alone. I want you guys to be safe. Don't forget, if you're having suicidal thoughts, please use that 1-800 number. Again, it's 1-800-273-TALK. Somebody will pick up that phone and listen to you if you need that. Follow my social medias below. Remember that I love you guys for free. Thank you guys for watching, and be blessed.